Morning guys, this is Carlos here again, aka TheBroGrammer. Alright, this is my new nickname. People are giving me this new name, it's becoming a thing, so we'll go with this for now, TheBroGrammer. Alright, why the name, you might ask? It's because I'm pretty friendly, I'm chill, and you know, I'm a programmer, right? So it makes sense in a way. So now let's go with our second video here. Alright, someone asked me yesterday if I could explain the different type of variables that exist within Java. I plainly told the person it's impossible, alright, because there's so much variables that it's kind of impossible to show them all in the video. But I'll just show you the most common ones, alright, if you want to do like basic programming. So I'll start by creating a new project again. We have our hello world here, like the one we did the other day, alright, which was I think yesterday. Let's start with the project name. So let's call it variable types, right? Save this. So we have our new project here. I'll close this one here, and yes, that's a thing, you can close projects in clips so they don't take up space or anything. So now we'll just create a new class underneath this one and call it again variable types. Alright, remember everything has to be in one word. Finish. Again, programmer that I am. Alright, date. So you guys know that I'm actually trying to work hard for you, and I'm going like on a day-to-day basis putting out videos. 6/2017 and description. Alright, so again, really important to list our imports, our libraries, sorry. Alright, so I'm always saying imports, but those are called libraries. Alright, don't do the same thing as me. Libraries, guys, libraries. Alright, so I'll use the same one that I used last time because I don't need anything else. Swing.star contains almost anything, and that's the class definition again. Alright, and within the class we'll call our main, our function. Alright, so main function right here. Ooh, function, not bad. It's giving me the funyuns. Stupid joke, but whatever. Alright, so we have our main function here. So let's go with the numerical types that exist within Java. Alright, so I'll list them by smallest to the biggest ones. Alright, and then show you the difference after. Alright, so the smallest one is what we call a byte. Alright, a byte is basically like 1 byte. Computer language, I have no idea how to explain this. Alright, it's 1 byte, people, 1 byte. Alright, I'll put the link in the description to the actual Java site where you can go find those information more specifically, but it's a byte. Alright, so I'll call it B for byte. Alright, and then yeah, I'll just declare it. Alright, so I'll just put a comments here and say we're doing the variable declaration. Right, and there's an actual difference between the declaration and the initialization. Right, and after the byte, I think it's the short that comes through right after. Yes, short. Right, short S. Alright, for short. Then there's that integer called int. We'll call it E. Alright. Then there's the long, which is a long integer. Stands for long integer, but they call it just long because it'll be long, saying long integer all the time. Alright, now we have the float. Alright, float F, and the double D. Right, and we all like the D because it's the longest one. Alright, damn, I gotta stop with those stupid jokes. Alright, now the reason why I'm separating these is because those are integers. Alright, they cannot contain any numbers that has a decimal value to it. All right, those right here are numbers that cannot contain decimal values. All right, these ones can. All right, only these ones. This is the smallest that can contain decimal values, and this one is the biggest, like the D. We all know already the D. All right, the D. All right, so variable declaration. Now I should mention here that those are called numerical use and those are numerical values that can So basically what I'm saying here is those are numerical values that cannot contain decimal values. So basically, let's say I have a number that's, let's say 12.4, 12.4, right? So these numbers here cannot contain those, but these one can, all right? But what happens is these one can also contain, let's say, just 10, but they cannot contain 12.4. They can also contain 12.4, all right? I'll give you an example. We used the system.out.println earlier, so I'll show you the difference. Now, what happens, what we did here is what we call the, let me just put this in comments just to split them up. Okay, let me just put this equally. I know, I'm doing my girly thing, but yo, we like it when it's pretty and stuff, right? So those are variable declaration. And those here will be variable. Jesus, do I know how to write? Whatever, man. Whatever. Alright. I'm getting fed up. It's pretty late here. Alright. So what happened now is we'll just initialize those variables that we listed up top. Right, so let's start with the byte again. Right, since we already created it, we can just initialize here. Right, so b1 equals 1, that's fine. But if I give it like a huge value, it will give me an error message. All right, there's a limit to the amount of number it can contain. All right, so again, let's go with 1 for now, whatever. And s equals this one again, same thing. There's a limit. Let's just put this here. Not sure what the limit is, but you see, this is giving me an error message saying the number is just too big. All right, now this works. All right, but whatever, we'll just go back to 2. Right, so integer. Right, now so again, let's go with the no, not 2. This one can actually contain a lot of numbers. Alright, so we're getting errors here. Alright, so you know what? I'll actually pull out the values here. I'll call this L equals floats. All right, the floats, like I said, f equals, we can either put 2 and it'll be fine, all right, or we can put 2.2, right? Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, sorry, depending on the type of. Why is it not working? It doesn't make sense. F equals 2. That does not make sense whatsoever. That does not make sense. That's weird. Did they change something? I'll double check this and come back to you, because it's weird since I have to do float, cast it to float, and then 2.2 works. Really strange, right? Whatever. Alright, let's go with 5 for now. Now the double, I can assure you, alright, the D, I can assure you that it really, really takes floating variables. Alright, so as you can see, 5.5 works, 6.5, alright, so that's the variable initialization, right? So it's really clean to do it this way. You declare your, wow, really bad writing right now. Alright, so that's basically the declaration of variables right here. So bytes, you name the variable and then your colon, alright, and then you initialize them right after. It just makes your code clean. Alright, now we can just scrap all of this and just do it right here. Declare and initialize for lazy people. Alright, so v equals 1, s equals 2, I equals 3, l equals 4, float, for some reason I'll double check this, 5, and d equals 6.5, alright, works. So floating variables, alright, variables that can contain decimal values, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're listed in order of biggest to the smallest, and those are all numerical values. Now there's also values that are how can I say that are non-numerical, alright. We'll just proceed with this right now. Yep. So there's the boolean. I love this one because it made me laugh the first time in class. Alright, the boolean, basically what it is a true or false. It's like I was about to say dice, but no, dice has like 6 faces. It's like a piece, it's like a quarter, alright? It's like a quarter. So let's call it quarter. Alright, so as again, alright. Boolean quarter and then char c. Alright. So the boolean basically will return a value that it's either true or false. Alright. And the char is basically just for one letter. Right? If you want to store, like, let's say the letter C for an example, you can store it in there. Or for guys, I know you want to store the D in it. Alright, so you know. Okay, I gotta stop the D char. Now if we want to initialize it, alright, for the quarter, you either give it the value true or false, right? Now for the char, we'll either give it C, right? I think this works too. No, because it's a string, alright, makes sense. So if you give it the value C, or let's go with big D for you guys, alright, here we can change it to false, like I said. All right. So now, since we showed you the system.out.println in my previous video, you'll be able to remember this probably. I'll sys out all the values one by one. Alright, so B. How many values do we have? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. Let's just make it clear, format it a little bit. Alright. Boom. Plus short. Damn, I don't know why, but this always made me laugh because it reminds me of like those gangster movies in which you'll hear, yo, what's up, shorty? So I don't know, that's just me. Not sure if some of you guys watch like gangster movies, but like American Gangster is one of the best movies Denzel ever played in, but it's really, really nice. It just reminds me of that what's up, shorty kind of mentality from the black side there. It's really funny. And well, I said B here. Here we're supposed to be S, E for integers. Now here we'll go with long, boom, space, L. Right here, boom, float, plus F. Damn, I'm getting tired already. Jesus. Float, double, and of course the D. And here the boolean plus quarter. Again, quarter, because there's only two options, right? When you are tossing a quarter up, there's only two options: true or false. All right. Heads or tails. Now the char. I know it's not pronounced car for some people. All right, char. All right, plus, and then of course the big. No, that's not. It's C. Damn it. All right, so I'll show you all the variables here. If I print this out in the console, show me the magic. As you can see here, the byte value, return 1, short 2, and 3, long 4, float 5. You see? Not sure why it didn't work. Double 6.5, boolean false, char big D. Alright? And as you can see here, if you double check just to be sure, in case some people say, hey, but you messed it up. Nope. If we go back up, the byte have 1 in it. Boom, 1 right here. And what did I output? The B variable, which is the name of the variable for the bytes. Short S2, S short variable 2, integer int, right, 3, float, no, long 4, float 5, double 6. Yeah, alright, so, and then boolean quarter false. That's what I have, but nobody likes to be wrong, so we'll just switch this to true. Alright, everybody wants the big D, so let's go back to this. Alright, so this is what it is, guys. Those are the basics. Alright, oh sorry, I'll add one extra one for you guys. Alright, add one extra one. String. Right, string is a class in itself. It's for text, right? So I call it text. Alright. Alright. And this is the initial declaration of it, and then the initialization text. Alright, equals, and then you type in your text. In my case, it will be a plead. Alright, please. And it's really important, as you can see for the char, since it's a character, you only need like those. I have no idea how you call these, right? You only need these ones, but for those one, you need the, no idea how to call them again, alright? But just put your text in between these two things, and you'll be fine. Same thing for the char, put your text in between these two things here, and you'll be fine. Not your text, your letter, alright? And only a character. It can either be a number, it doesn't matter what it is, alright? It can be a special character, doesn't matter what it is. It can be a letter again, doesn't matter what it is, right? Let's go with the no, rather this one, the ampersand sign, alright? So for the char character, you can put in whatever you want. Text, you can put in whatever you want either, alright? It doesn't work, it doesn't matter. So, oh, I forgot to set up my string. Alright, so let's run it again. Alright, char, this is the value I input it in, and then string, of course. Please subscribe, guys. Alright, so that will be all for today. Thanks again for watching my video, and then on to the next one. Alright, have a good one, guys.